Jordan Conrad's from the Gateway Pundit. I'm here with Arizona State Senator Jake Hoffman. So, breaking news, HB2492 has just won in the Ninth Circuit Court.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
Big victory, Jordan, for conservatism, big victory for election integrity. As you know, election integrity has become the civil rights issue of our day.
I agree.
There is nothing more sacred than protecting the right of every citizen who legally is allowed to cast a ballot to be able to not only cast it, but also have trust in the process and the outcome of our elections. Now, HB2492 in the Arizona House of Representatives, back in 2022, I ran this bill to require documentary proof of citizenship when registering with the state voter registration form, okay?
Right.
Now, why is it important that we have documentary proof of citizenship? Well, because it's not okay for illegal aliens, it's not okay for anyone that should not legally be allowed to cast a vote to be able to cast a vote in our elections, right? And so this would say essentially that if you don't provide documentary proof of citizenship, you would not be allowed to vote for the office of president in our elections. Now, I think that is a reasonable common sense measure. We had a skyrocketing number of voter registration forms that came in, that were in this federal only category. And so the reality is all we want is for everyone who should legally be allowed to cast a vote to be able to cast a vote. We want people to have trust, to be able to have, faith that their election, that their vote is cast properly, that their vote is tabulated properly, and that the outcome of our elections is the way that it was intended to be by the will of the people. This is a big victory. Now, keep in mind, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. I fully expect that the Mi Familia Vota and the other organizations who sued on this legislation, fully expect them to appeal. However, I'm confident, as I have been since day one, that when this gets to the Supreme Court will interpret the law the correct way, the constitutional way, and this will be upheld because it is sound, quality legislation that protects the interests of the American people, and that's a good thing for all.
No, it isn't. In my opinion, that's huge. We've reported somewhat extensively on this at the Gateway. Elon Musk has even commented on it that nobody should be voting if they're not a citizen of the United States.
Well, Jordan, hold on. So you wouldn't think that's a controversial statement,
you wouldn't,
right?
Yeah.
Except we've seen in places like Washington, D.C., in New York City,
they let people vote in
Democrat
local elections.
stronghold cities, they have repeatedly tried to legalize non-citizens voting. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, thank God we haven't had that type of insanity get to Arizona. But look, we want to make sure that anyone who is legally allowed to cast a ballot can, and anyone who legally should not be allowed to cast a ballot is not.
And I think it's disgusting. While I have you here, real quick, I want to get you to comment on the Trump assassination attempt. Of course, they can't take him out with lawfare. They have to kill him in order to take him out. They probably even can't take him out with illegal immigrants voting, as we saw all the Democrats voted against the SAVE Act. But give me your thoughts.
Jordan, let me tell you, this is not a political football. The left may want to try to make it a political football, but thank God, I praise God that President Trump survived that would-be assassin's bullet. It is abhorrent, the type of political violence that we're seeing, primarily from the left. I mean, if you look, mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting, they are hardcore leftists. In this case, it was a deranged individual who tried to take out the most successful president in my lifetime. That is something that every American, regardless of political affiliation, should reject. And we should all be praying for the Trump family right now, praying for them, praying for the unity of our country, praying for the safety of their family. So my heart goes out to him. I am so proud, though, to see him here at the Republican National Convention in great spirits.
2 or 3 days later.
He has this air of just compassion and unity and humanity about him. He looks amazing. And look, the whole message we've had at the Republican National Convention so far has been a message of unity, a message of speaking for the forgotten men and women of this country, the people who the system, the elites and the ruling class have stomped on, have trampled, and have taken advantage of. They've sold them out for their own personal gain. And this Republican Party stands with them. We are going to be the voice of the voiceless, and President Trump is going to be the man to win the White House and to give them the loudest voice possible.
Right. Well, Senator, totally agree with you. We've seen the violence from the left for the last 4 years now, but hey, great talking to you.
Thank you.